Welcome, everybody. My name is Jana Weiss. I'm the Student Life Coordinator for Global Online. And today we have with us one of our professional licensed counselors, Anna Connect, who is actually with on Global Online College. And she's going to talk to us about stress management. Welcome, Anna.
All right. Thank you so much, Janet. Thank you for having me today. And definitely it's a topic that I try myself to work on it as much as possible, manage my stress. And that is a key to be successful in any place, whether it's work, school, or even with our own relationships. Okay, so what is stress? According to the American Psychology Association on 2020, stress is a normal reaction to everyday pressures but can become unhealthy when it upsets your day to day functions. Here's the best science available on what happens to your body when stress hits and how to keep your stress at a healthy, manageable levels. And that's what we're going to talk about. Keep the stress manageable in a way that is going to help you in the long run to feel better, not worse. Of course, we stress if with the classes, whether there's a test coming or we have so many assignments, maybe you're working at the same time, you are a full-time student, full-time worker, that is stressful. For sure, if life gets in the way, maybe death of a loved one, it that definitely throws everybody off. You overwhelmed with everything's going on. You see the news, and maybe you worry how you're going to pay your bills, your mortgage, your rent. You're working so hard to keep up with everything, but it is stressful. Sometimes it's so stressful that you cannot even think clearly. You don't know what decision to make, what will be the best solution. And definitely when we study, and you might study so many hours, and perhaps you go in to to take a test and you're anxious about it, and your mind just go just clear, and you're not able to get nothing done or trying to answer all those questions. You're concerned if you have a sick person in your family. Of course, it is stressful. You're not happy. You anxious. You feel that tension. You're frustrated because things are not going the way you planned it. Maybe you thought taking the amount of classes that you have scheduled for will be great and you will have done super well. However, now you know that it takes more than you thought it was going to be. You stress out because you don't know how you're going to finish this semester that is has been struggling for so long. So many pressures, so many stress situations. When it comes to the point that you no longer really perform at the level that you know you can do quite well, then you know for sure that your stress is very high. You might have headaches, maybe sometimes you get a headache. Oh, okay, maybe you relax, take a nap, you take a pill or an aspirin, whatever, and you move on. But when you have a migraine headache, then definitely that is going to impact your daily day-to-day activity. So I want to share with y'all a video. Okay, come on, play with me. Okay, let me see if I can open it. Come on.
Watch this. One little piece of paper can have a remarkable effect. Stress is stressful. But if you understand a bit about what it is, you'll be better able to deal with it. First, though, take a few deep breaths. In fact, do that anytime you feel stressed. It helps. Stress is a survival mechanism. When danger appears, it can get you out of trouble quickly. Your body crashes up the gears and throws all its resources into getting you moving. Your heart pumps furiously to increase blood pressure. Glucose is sent to the muscles as a fuel injection, and you become totally focused on what psychologists call fight or flight. Thing is, this emergency state is only meant to last just long enough to get you out of danger. But here in the 21st century, we stress about different things, and for much, much longer. Your brain and body stay on red alert, and you'll be less able to think clearly, learn, or remember things. Take a few more deep breaths, because as you now know, stress is a physical reaction, and deep breathing helps to counteract its effects. So, what else can you do? Okay, top tips to reduce stress. First, get plenty of exercise. Let out all that locked up energy. Now, back to the problem. Get in control. Scope out the situation and how you're going to tackle it. Don't stress alone. Talk to someone. Socialize. And have a laugh. You can't laugh and quake with fear at the same time. Get down with nature on a big or small scale. And if your mind won't stop worrying, give it something else to do instead.
Get something else to do. As you already realize, I have a new screen over here, so if I'm facing that way, I do apologize. And yep, do something else, and for sure. So the video went through different tips, and that's what I'm going to be sharing. Some of my own personal, what I do to manage my stress, and perhaps later on, someone volunteer, anyone that would like to share, maybe throughout the chat, what they do to manage their stress.
Anna, we have
So,
somebody with their hand raised.
oh, sorry about that.
Ricky, do you have a question?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I was going to ask, the video mentioned that you should get something else to do. Would journaling count as one of those things? Because that is how
Yes.
I relieve stress.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, that's one way of definitely helping you to relieve stress, and journaling, and some people like drawing, and have different ways to handle our stress that is going to help. Some people might like listen to music, or different kind of music to get you going. Sometimes I don't feel like cleaning the house, but I get the music going to pump me up and help me to keep going. Or I use also music in case I'm having a trouble not falling asleep, and so for sure I listen to something more relaxed and smooth, get me going, and I do some breathing in, breathe out, just to relax and get myself to sleep. So what else? Be one with nature. That's one of them, and for sure, this is for me personally. I love going camping. This is a perfect weather for me to go camping and just sit by the campfire, set up tent, all that. But I know maybe for some people will say, no way, not for me. This is way too stressful. Give me the Marriott, give me the Hilton. I'm staying over there. There's no way. I don't want to worry about the animals or the insects, or I cannot go to sleep on the floor, or those kind of things. You need to find things that is going to help you to get more comfortable, to feel better, to cope better, not to make it worse, of course. But you can always, go to the park, the different parks around our city, and where you at, probably you can find a park also, and just go outside, walk the dog. That's also gives you a chance to exercise. So, I had to be conscious of that, especially because I sit out the most of the days. So sometimes I'm standing just to because I get tired, especially during high registration. And I'm sure when you studying after so many hours just sitting down, you have to make sure you get up, stretch, clear your mind, walk around, go out. So, you our minds, as much as I wanted to memorize, as much as I wanted to learn, as much as I want to spend a lot of hours, get all those assignments done, I have to make sure that I take enough of a break when I was in school. And definitely nowadays, even here in the office, between students, between activities, um, even just staying in the building, I have to make sure I get out and just walk around and stretch. And nowadays, I'm more into flowers. I mean, plants, not flowers, plants. I didn't thought at the beginning. I remember the day that my coworker, the other counselor that we have here, came in and said, "I got you a flower. I got you a plant." And I said, "No, no, no. I don't want to take care of anything. I don't want no more responsibilities." But imagine that now I started with one, and I think I have 10 now, somewhere around there here in my office. Never thought I could take care of plants, but I find it relaxing on the days that, I just need to clear my mind after working so many hours, after being stressed out, after, looking at this computer, then your mind is just cannot take anything else. It's just too much. So I water the plants, I make sure that they're okay, those kind of things, and they keep me sometimes busy. And another thing that I have noticed that if I'm too stressed out, not only I don't take care of myself, I don't take care of the plants. I forget to water them. And that has happened too. So that's one of the signals that I know when I'm getting headaches. So when my stomach is upset, just getting so upset that it's like or when we're too stressed out, we coming and going, and I just pick something up to eat real quick. Might not even be healthy or just whatever, just because I want to stop being hungry, of course, but not a good meal. I don't get enough sleep. So those kind of things is going to impact definitely my daily life. If I don't do anything about it, for sure, it's going to make it worse to the point that I'm just going to be overwhelmed when everything's going on. So I have to make sure that on my daily, during different times during the day, I'm taking a break. And of course, you know, there's vacations, there is time on the weekends to relax. If I have too much of a busy weekend, excuse me, then I'm going to be too tired to work on Monday. So when you study, of course, I had to be watchful when I was a student. I had to be watchful of what I do the night before of a final or a test or an assignment. If I went out and I party too much, then I'm definitely not going to be ready to study next morning. I want to be sleeping, drowsy, not myself. So managing your daily activities, what works for you? Do I need another break? Do I need a small nap? Let me just take a nap. You know, uh, I'm not so much of a person that take a nap during the day, but I know some people that they do. I have tried it. I've felt better, but when I take a nap is because I have been overdoing it, and I know I need to take it easy. Well, it's always good to find a hobby. One day I picked up woodwork and I sanded. I picked up a whole. They have a garage sale, and I just bought some nightstand and just thought, well, let me just paint it. I sanded, I painted. I found it so relaxing. Never thought it would. That was my first time. I asked someone else how to do it. I watched videos how to paint it, how to sand it, what to do, not to do, those kind of things. And it was relaxing. It was away from everything that was going on in my life in that particular time. Because life gets in the way, or we have a stressful relationship, a toxic relationship. So the key is to take care of yourself, and managing your stress is one of those. Meditation. You can always meditate. You can always maybe 5 minutes. There are different ways how to meditate. Um, there's I started 15 minutes, then I went up to 30 minutes, and I go back and forth. And I found it at the beginning it's hard to do because I cannot settle in, because when I had been so busy, my mind it just keep going and going. And so I have to unwind. I have to kind of relax myself. Okay, getting into the posture and put my phone away and put it in silence, just focus in my meditation. And then it's has been very good. It has been relaxed, really. Uh, Also, by the way, yoga is very, very good to handle stress. I personally have not done it, but invite you, everyone. They're gonna have a yoga session next time, and I'm sure Jenna will inform you more about that in case you want to sign up for that one too. And that sounds an excellent way to handle stress. Also, what else we have here? Spa. Once in a while, get a massage. And when I was a student, I couldn't afford a massage, of course. But, I always get together with friends. You can always do that. And, there's nails or facials, or it's just another way because, our body get tired. I can feel the tension in my shoulders, all this, my neck. Um, and, my, it's tight right now. When it's too tight, then I know for sure. Or then I figure it out to stretch, because if I'm too tight, I have to stretch. I have to definitely help my body to release that stress. If I'm not able to run, well, maybe you can walk, slowly, but do as much as you can. I see a couple of my neighbors, senior citizens. Um, I'm very close to that age, of course, and they walk, and I see the gentleman even walking slowly, slowly, but he hangs in there. I'm thinking he walks more than I do because you can see them go around and walking again. I'm like, wow, slowly but surely, he's doing his exercise. So it's a key. Maybe you're at the campus, maybe you're studying, maybe you are at your home, be studying for so many hours. Just walk, stretch, get going. That always helps to release. Now, if let's say you like to run marathons, but your knees are not doing your knees or your ankle, maybe you got hurt before. The doctor has said, hey, you got to stop, you need to slow down, maybe you have to not run so much, or give yourself a break, give your body a break. You putting too much stress on it. Well, you have to be careful, if it's no longer helpful to do that to help you to manage your stress, you have to look for something else. Maybe you like swimming. It won't be a less impact. Maybe you get a different bike, the ones you kind of lay on your back instead of a regular bike, something like in those lines. Okay, so of course, one of the keys to be successful in school is time management. We know if you leave anything for the last minute, I've been there, done that. Of course, you're going to get in trouble with your assignments or last minute work or last minute studying for a test or last minute time to prepare for finals. And manage your time. When you manage your time, when you get yourself organized, when you get a planner, you follow your syllabus, you take a look at the deadlines, so on and so forth, then of course you are going to manage your time better because you're going to schedule ahead, you're going to plan ahead, you're going to even have time to even see a tutor because you manage your time. How many hours you're working, how many hours you study, how can I fit into everything that I have going at home, and when can I study, when is a better time for me to study, maybe after I have helped my own kids, or maybe we all sit together and study at the same time, or during the night or the weekends. You have to schedule your time not only to study, of course, but take care of yourself and for everything. So when you're doing your schedule for spring 2026, then you want to see, do you have enough time to take care of yourself, to take care of your family, to work, and to go to school? Do you have enough um, classes? Do you have enough hours? When you work full time, you take maybe 2 classes. But if after signing up for so many classes, and maybe out of 3 out of 4 you pass, or maybe 2 out of 4 you passed, and you have to take a look. Well, this schedule might not be working for me. It's just too stressful to do everything online. Maybe you need to consider in person or hybrid. Make it work for you. So, and the last thing I want to talk about concerning stress management for this particular panel is therapy. Maybe you have tried everything, how to uh, manage your anxiety. Maybe you have a death on a loved one and you were sad at the beginning, but now you feel getting worse. You're going to depression. It's you have tried everything, you know what to do, and it's still not working. And you want to move forward, but you're stuck in that particular situation. You just not feeling well. You just don't know what to do. So, you know, I think one of the best investments in life is therapy. If you're struggling with your mental health and you need something more that just techniques or coping skills, you need more like once a week going to see a therapist or see a counselor, or going back to see your psychiatrist or your psychologist. you know it's time. It's maybe went through a very dramatic situation, and now it's coming back, and you're stuck, and you're not able to really do all the things you were planning to do, and it's getting in your way. Well, it's time to take care of that, and then eventually, once you still feeling better, once you manage those situations. I have seen students that they say, I just not feeling well. um I just went through this bad experience or this bad relationship, or I'm just going to take some time out and I'll be back for the spring. And talk to one of us, one of the counselors, and whether it's here online or on the campus in person. We here available for you. We're trying to see what we can help you to kind of navigate those waters and what could be done at this particular time. You know, we want you to be successful in school, but sometimes things doesn't work out as we plan it. So we need that extra help to go over those obstacles, so those things that gets in our way. And maybe therapy is one of those. We counselors provide short-term counseling, maybe 3 to 5 sessions, depends during the semester, just to keep you going. But if it is bigger that we can take care of it or we can provide, then of course we can make an appropriate referral. So that's another way to, and I pretty much, I think I kind of shared a little bit of everything that I have here. Of course, there are other ways how to handle um, your stress. Just share some of those that I have used, that I have done, and I mean, welcome later on anybody else that want to share what they do with the stress. Can it be that simple? Gordo, you have 5,652 emails in your inbox. Yep. Don't that stress you out? Nope. How do you manage that? Watch. Delete all and life will go on. I wish life would be that simple. I wish I could just say, yep, I can just delete and I was everything that is going on and whoop, disappear, or have a TV or a control and just control everything in my life, and that would be great. I was just sharing with Jana, I live through the emails. If they ask me, what do you want me to do? You want me to send it a chat or send me email, get a student's email coming. I got my supervisor email coming. I got all kinds of emails coming. And that's almost like a syllabus. Like, okay, let me work on this. Let me see who I need to take care of first and all that. So definitely I cannot do that. Even with my personal emails, sometimes I have to keep them, or it's like, okay, I book a flight to coming out from my vacation. Where is that email? What time I'm leaving? I didn't put it in my calendar, so of course I don't know. So I'm going through those emails. So it's not life is not that simple. We know that, and that's why we need some kind of techniques to help us to manage the stress. So let's see, and to cope better, of course. ACC, Houston City College, of course, is a JED campus member. I'm going to share with you our homepage. Let me look and apologize where I put the homepage. I think I have it on a different screen. There it is. So let me go back to our homepage, hccs.edu. As you know, we have a new name, a new logo, and all that. So I'm going to open in support and services, and I'm going to go to counseling. Okay. And of course, that's what I am. That's who I am and what I do. And I'm scrolling it down, and now I'm gonna click on mental health support. And look at all this resource that we have, all that supports that we have. And what I'm gonna do today, mental health. And of course, for any kind of emergency, dial 911. Suicide prevention, 988 is a number to call, whether you are anywhere in the US or 988 is the number to call, even you to chat, or maybe you know someone that is not feeling well, is concerned that might take their life. Well, for any suicidal thoughts, whether you experience that or for someone else that you know, 988 is the number to call. You can always call them. They can check that person that you know, go to their where they're at, and see if they need that help. And what I did, hold on, I'll click. Okay, so where I'm going, J funding resource, that's what I'm going. Okay, so J Foundation, and they have all kinds of resources. And I'm gonna go to stress because that's the topic that we addressing today. But you can see they have all kinds of information, and it for our students, college students, high school students, all kinds of students. And so let's do stress. And things how to manage the stress. There is more information how to manage the more that I have definitely have given you. Uh, how to release stress, breathing exercise you can do anywhere. You and how to start journalism. Somebody mentioned about that. Yes, you can do journalism, of course. Um, and all kinds of videos, information, so on and so forth. So at your fingertips, it's right here. If you don't remember how to go to our website, no problem. You can always Google J Foundation. That's it. They need help, pick a topic, you know. So it's excellent resource. I highly recommend it, of course. So even for relationships could be stressful too, right? So understanding a healthy relationship, all those things, and how to let me see how safely in a healthy relationship. That is a topic in itself. So there are resources available. Again, one of the key factors to be successful in school is take care of yourself, whether we're talking about basic needs or mental health or a well-being, how to cope with different situations, how to make it, maybe how to manage to get out of those difficult times, how to cope better, and how to feel better for sure. Okay, so any questions, any comments,
There has been a lot of
anything?
questions and a lot of comments in the chat. One of
Okay.
the questions, and this is for several people, they're like, does time management really help stress? And to them, some of them trying to figure out time management styles is stressful. So how do they figure out what time management works for them?
That's a good question. You know, that getting to know yourself a little better. You have to, for sure, uh, take a look when is the best time to study. How many hours you're gonna need for a particular class? Some subjects might need more hours than others to study. I wasn't that strong with English comp one for sure. Um, so you had to find kind of your own way around. If let's say you are you have one particular subject. Biology was one of those that I struggled with, and you don't want to overload yourself when you're taking that particular class, or especially when we have so many nursing students that they take anatomy, physiology, and they're taking all those hard subjects, and at the same time they are doing so many things. Maybe they're working, maybe they have 2 3 kids. So that is a key factor. First of all, you need to take a look at all the responsibilities that you have. Do you have enough time to
No.
take care of that? So it's manage your time. Yes, it is a key factor because you get stressed out because your plate is full. You overload. Just to the we have some time we have students that they're taking 2 classes and they want more in the same 8 weeks and they want to take 9 hours. Well, just 6 hours is full time on the same 8 weeks. So yes, how you start, you can start looking at your schedule and see everything that you got going. When I was a student, I was volunteer here and there. started working part-time, 20 something hours, and then I came out to be 32 hours until my dad said, enough, cannot do that anymore. You know, we need to focus on school. So if you can make that a priority, that means you have to drop something off. You know, can you afford it? I have seen students and the appeal forms. I stopped working because I'm going to focus in school. Can you afford that? I mean, you still have to provide for yourself and your loved ones. You don't want to make it more stressful. So, but it's more complex. But I will start by looking at the responsibilities that you have, how much time you need for those, and see if you have in everything that is going on enough time to take care of those. Because leaving things for last minute, it doesn't work out. You're going to be stressed out for sure. Any other questions?
They were talking a lot about what they like to do for their
Yes.
stress, and it really coincided a lot with what you're talking about. They had cooking. Cooking stresses me out. That would never relax me. But some people like to
No,
cook
that's why I'm smiling. I
bake,
said no.
play guitar,
Oh, nice.
meditate, yoga, skateboard, video games. It was just a plethora of
Wow.
ideas and actions that they do.
Yes, you need to find something that works for you for sure. No, I don't think I can do cooking. The few times that I have tried, it's been I do it because sometimes I need to, I have to, but it's not something that I enjoyed. And no, I can't do that. But yeah, that is stressful. But there are some people that manage relax or clean. Somebody said one time cleaning their house. I
Yes,
do it
somebody else said that on here. They're like cleaning because you're thinking about something else. You're thinking about getting something clean.
right, right. Believe it or not, I like to clean my shoes for some reason. And in fact, I did it this morning. I ended up wearing, but I did it this morning. I don't know. I just
Boxing.
like it. And boxing, wow. Let me, let's see what else. Yeah, and different sports, different activities, arts, craft, singing, and what else? I see many people say school is stressful. It is stressful. I everyone. I just noticed how many people we have, and that is stressful. You know, Jana told me this morning. You know, we got about 80 sign up. I said, what? Okay, that was stressful. But and then I said, okay, relax, got this. So, but school is stressful. Going back to school is stressful in itself, you know, because it's a different game with different rules of the game. Maybe we finish high school or we got our GED, but once college is different. You might have already some study skills, but you are more independent. You are more on your own. No one is on top of you. You have to manage your time, definitely. Because, you know, when I started school, I only, that's, what is it, 5 classes, 4 classes? And I thought, then I have all this free time? Huh. Then I find out most of the work is outside the classroom. So then I thought, cannot do this biology class right now. I'll pick it up later on. So, you know, those kind of things. What else we have? Music. Listen to music for sure. Nice spa day. Absolutely. Girls' night or boys out, right? Or hang around, chill out. Sometimes we need a break from each other. You know, even when you're on vacation. I feel when I'm traveling, when I'm traveling with family or I'm traveling with someone else, I still want to do something else on my own, just to kind of give yourself a break and not make it stressful.
There's a really good question in the chat. It says, I have a lot of trouble getting out of bed in the morning. Even if I sleep like 10 hours, it's still really hard for me to get up, and I never really feel rested. Any tips or advice? Is this related to stress?
Yes, it could be. Maybe not getting not is. I would say that you probably need to um, uh, check to see how much you're really sleeping and if how well. But it could be related because for myself, if I'm losing hours of sleep because I'm stressful, during registration, I lose my sleep. Cannot unwind. But when you sleep too much, it might be something else. It might be something else. That's what I'm my concern. I think it might be something else. Could it be sleep apnea? You're not getting it's not a sleep. It's not really like you have sleep that your body had rested and you don't have enough rest and you still feel tired. Um, so or you might want to check more into that, to be honest with you.
Check with your
Because
doctor.
yes, I'm afraid so. If we miss our beauty sleep, we're not gonna be literally, we're gonna be ugly. that's that's what it is.
I have
So
another
what else?
question.
Yes.
How can you separate studies from your personal life? I struggle with this as it takes hours to complete assignments and taking breaks. Any advice?
I'm sorry, what was it again? Could you repeat it again, Jenna, please?
How do you separate studying from your personal life? I struggle with this as it takes hours to complete assignments.
Wow. How you separate study from your personal life and taking hours for your well, the question is how many classes you can take with everything's going on. I think that would be the first question because when that's one thing. Another thing is hard. If you lost someone, you know, death of a family member, it's hard to concentrate. It's hard to study. And in go to grievance, just for example, I'm just giving you an example. And then, of course, maybe you need to talk to someone. Maybe it would be nice, you have a support system that is going to help you for those difficult times because life gets in the way no matter what. It does. So, but when it comes to the point that you can no longer perform, you remember we say those daily activities. It is stressful when you have go that only impact your daily activities. Then you definitely need more help to take care of your stress because whether it's a death of someone or maybe working 40 hours instead of 40, they're 50, or maybe working over the night and you still need to go home, or maybe work the whole day and you still need to go home and cook and provide for your family. So it's we have to manage everything that is going on, and at the same time, it's hard to separate because we can have the perfect schedule, and then something goes by. What we can do is how to cope better with that situation, and that's how is you can manage better in those situations. Cope better. Uh, Maybe you have tried different things and that is not working. You can always try professional help. Yes. Anything else? We
Yes, when you have overwhelming workload or your mind wants to shut down to procrastinate, how do you keep yourself engaged with your work?
How can you stay focused? Mm, Well, I would say first I would have to start with uh, ask yourself where you study. Are you studying to a place that is helping you to stay focused? Or what you're supposed to be doing? Or maybe you're studying on your bed, or maybe you're studying and it's just too much. It's like it reminds me when I was that I was I was working in the same table that I was eating, that I was having all this, and then when the time I realized I had a whole mess in that table, I said no, I had to remove myself. So, where you study, who you study with, are they helping you? Are they supporting you study, or they become more a distraction? And when you study, is it better to study in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, or uh, then at the end of the day, you have to block that time. You pronosticating because maybe you don't feel like doing well. Maybe you can study with someone else to help you for that. Someone else to keep each other motivated, check and balance. But if it becomes more of a problem, then where your time is going, that maybe you have to give up something else. That way you can schedule it during the week instead of waiting on the last minute study. Uh, Something must be distracting you, and how can you slowly get yourself away from there? That could be helpful. What else? Very good questions, I might add.
No. One person is struggling right now because they lost a family member, and I told them to seek out counseling. And this is very important for you to tell them. Will they talk to my parents or guardians if I do? I don't want to add on to their workload.
I, you know, talk to a friend about it. Talk to someone you feel comfortable with. When you love someone, we have to, whether we angry, where we go through sadness or grieving, uh, we need to do something about it to help you to go through that process. The
They want
grieving
to know
time.
if counseling will tell their parents if you came to them, if they
Ah,
came to you.
okay. Well, if it is an adult already, no, no, we don't have to tell the parents. 18 and older, yes. But if it is, sometimes we do have dual credits in our Houston City College, but that's a different story. Then yes, it's a minor. Then for sure, they have to know that they're going through counseling. But what anyone share, let's say if they say it's okay, you can talk to someone, a counselor. That what we share between ourselves is private and confidential, unless it has to do something that you harming yourself or harming someone else. Um, then this then we have to break that confidentiality. So, and I just want to share, going through grievance. I highly recommend. I'm sorry, I'm turning around again. Where is our website? Here's our website. And let me see. Mental health. Here's different places. We have no take where you go as long as you get the help that you need. But going bereavement Bob Place grief support. They do it in person. They're doing virtually. It's here at Houston, but it's like I said, they will do it virtually. Uh, so it's an excellent place. In fact, in support groups individually, also J Foundation. Let me go back to J Foundation resource. Sadness and depression. Okay. You're going through that loss of someone, is it sadness or at this point is depression? Knowing the difference when it's time to get professional help, probably more likely when it's a depression. So I unfortunately have once upon a time I know someone that they lost their mother and they totally got sick. Or I have known of parents losing their kids and they never have been the same. So how you handle that loss makes a lot of difference. And I can hardly recommend Bob Place. It's an excellent program for sure. Because bereavement for some people is short and you might see someone else like you didn't care, you don't mind, you didn't even cry at the funeral. No, that doesn't mean that person don't love that particular person. It means that uh, the way they go through grief and all that is different. Everyone's is different. So, and sometimes we need that extra help to really go through the rough times. All right. What else we got? Means-
Um,
So the question I think it was,
oh,
can you share with our parents? Well, it is confidential as long as you not trying to kill yourself or harm someone else. Then we had to break the confidentiality. Yes, ma'am.
somebody has insomnia and has issues. How do you deal with stress and insomnia during the semester? How many people
Uh,
really need to call counsel, make individual appointments? Oh,
sometimes I wish I had a magic wand and just get
I
everyone,
know. I
including
feel
myself.
for all of you.
Yeah,
Y'all are
it's
really
tough.
struggling.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's yes, I agree. Drinking tea.
Yeah,
I have
chamomile.
done chamomile. Do something to unwind. Okay. Sometimes people will exercise before they go to sleep, take a hot shower, relax. Um, I try to
Don't be on a
see,
screen before you go to bed.
yeah, or I like if I'm gonna see something streaming, it has to be something relaxing. If I see something that is scary movie, then of course I'm not gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna be worried about is anyone under my bed or in the restroom or what's going on and double checking. You have to learn how to unwind before you go to sleep. And deal with anxiety. That's another one. How to handle that anxiety. Yes, but that is another topic in itself too. So yeah, you have to just like we get our kids ready to go to sleep. Sometimes we read to them or go ahead and change clothes. We have to do that for ourselves. We stop as we become adults because we got so many things going and we have to take care of this and that and that and that. Finish. Did you finish your homework? And where's your backpack? And where I left this? And where are my keys? You know. And no, you have to get everything ready, like just like we did when just as we had done it for our kids. If I don't want it to be ripping and running in the morning, I had to make sure get all my clothes ready to go when I wake up. If I want to make sure I want to get enough sleep, that way I'll be ready to go next morning. So if I'm struggling with go to sleep, well, check to see that you have enough time to unwind. I have said before, listen to music and slow down, take it easy, and breathe in, breathe out. Believe me, I have done it, and by the time some people try praying, that's very good too. I have done it too. And what else? Just to give you, but when I'm too excited, I can go to sleep. That's not the if I because my mind is going, and then I just can't. All right. Looks like everyone has survived so far with our stress management session. Any other questions, Jana, before we go?
I don't I don't think so. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Reach out to
Yes.
counseling. Y'all have a lot of questions that we just couldn't get to today that you might want to do a one-on-one with counseling.
Absolutely.
So reach out to them, and we will upload this all on our YouTube page, which I posted in the chat. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Bye,
All
everyone.
right. Bye-bye.